It's just cold water. Gents, this is the final day of the 72-hour recomp. So it's around 3:52. Woke up normal time at 3:45. Woke up this morning wide awake, right? Super energized. Didn't even have to go through that battle in my head of waking up like I did the first morning. First morning I woke up, I was like, damn, fucking, this is hell. Now, you see my body's gotten used to this wake up time, so I wonder if I don't set an alarm for tomorrow, which is what we're going to test out, what time I wake up. And I'll actually finish off that video with that. Now it is time for the cold shower. Now that I haven't fully gotten used to. I'm not going to lie, like, I don't really feel like taking a cold shower. It's pretty cold here this morning, to be honest. Like, if I go outside now and I go, it's just going to be like, you know, what do you call that shit? Mist or whatever. Vapor or whatever you call it. Anyway, can't think right now. But, hit that cold shower, hit my morning push-ups, then do a little bit of meditation outside, get myself in the flow, and boom, straight to work. Straight to some editing. Well, now I'm going to do self-development first, then do a little bit of editing, then it's just client fulfillment today. Like upgrading systems, making the program ridiculous. I've got a whole list. Where's my book? Let's see. I've got a whole list of shit here. That's all client fulfillment stuff that I want to finish today. Add things that I want to add to the program. You know, extra resources. The habits module is already up. I want to do mindset modules. I want to do full meal prep instructions of like a video, Miro boards, you know, additional information, just to like set every single client up for absolute success, right? Tips and tricks on how to prevent hunger when going through the priming, end of the priming and the end of the depletion phase, when that does tend to spike. Usually when you get to that stage, you don't get that hungry, right? Because it's a slow drop and then you manipulate fats and proteins where hunger isn't that bad. Like, I mean, you guys saw me, like, I haven't had any carbs, and yesterday I actually struggled to get the steak down, right? I literally have 10 eggs, 200 grams of ground beef, no carbs, a little bit of veggies, which has got carbs in, and then 250 grams of chicken breast, that Juliana lettuce or whatever, no carbs, except for the veggies. Then finally the steak, which is the steak and a couple of veggies, right? And the 3 protein shakes. So it's just fats, proteins, and then fiber, which is more fiber. It is a bit of a carb though, when it comes to, but nothing like that. And yeah, feel good, man. I'm gonna go hop in that fucking shower. That's something I don't want to do. But that's part of the 555 method, where you got to set 5 goals, input goals that you want to achieve, right, within X amount of time, and you work relentlessly every fucking day to achieve that. Remember, input goals, not a, you know, I want to get 100,000 USD per month. Not that. I'm talking about, okay, your overarching goal is that. What is that going to mean? Every day you need to do 12 hours of work. Or every day you need to do 8 hours of work. That is the input goal. That is what you tick off. That is what gives you that fucking boost of self-confidence, right? When you tick that shit off, that is a huge, like, vote for the type of person that you want to become. That's why you always need to focus on the input goals, because at the end of the day, that goal that you have, right, whether it be losing 20 pounds, whether it be gaining 10 pounds of lean quality mass, whether it be, you know, your bank account, whatever, relationship, a goal, at the end of the day, it is literally just a direction, right? It's just pointing you in the direction. Think about a goal as a compass, right? Northeast. That's where you got to go. But now, how are you going to get there? Okay? How are you going to get there? That's where the input goals come into play. Let's say you got to sail northeast, you got to get the sails up. I don't know shit about sailing, but get the sails up. Got to make sure that the wind's right, that you starboard. Like if there's a couple of sail people here, don't take me seriously with regards to sailing. Clearly, I don't know shit about sailing yet, but that's another thing that I'll learn. Anyway, so it's just a direction. Now the input goals implemented daily will compound and will lead to that desired outcome no matter what. There is just no doubt about it, right? You just need to stay relentless. You need to show up with intention, and you need to make sure that you're ticking off all those boxes. And along the journey, you're going to feel good about yourself. I mean, look, I've been able to stick to the 72-hour recomp. And every day I finish, I have a major sense of pride. Like 12 hours of work, sitting behind a computer, filming, editing, fulfilling like everything, like upgrading shit. Like that's a lot, right? That's a lot of work for me specifically. I don't like to sit behind a computer for more than 4 hours, to be honest. But you got to do what you got to do. Waking up 3:45 a.m. It's not something that I usually do. The wake up is not bad. Hitting that cold shower is definitely something I don't want to do. But every time I do that, I'm like, good. I fucking stay consistent. I showed up and I'm moving closer to where I want to get to. And most importantly, I'm keeping a promise to myself, right? As a fucking man. Okay? When you can overcome these little things, like doing that cold shower in the morning. That's why with all of my clients, with our morning routine that we set up, which will be 5. So you've got the 5 goals, and you've got the 5-step morning routine, and then you've got the 5 tasks that you do every day that's going to move the needle forward to whatever your goal is. So like doing a faster cardio, if it's business related, if it's relationship related, but that's that. Let's go. I don't feel like it this morning, but you know what? Think about it. It's just cold water. It's uncomfortable as fuck, but it's just cold water. That's all it is. It's cold ass water. Nothing more. Ooh, ha. Let's go. 'There you go. See? Not so bad. It's done. Nothing better than stepping out of a cold shower into a cold environment with a wet towel. Nothing beats it. Okay, let me get this done. Then I gotta go have my cup of coffee, do my morning push-ups. Excited for the grind. Let's go. Rise and grind. Whew. Okay, so today I gotta hit 400 push-ups to get the total of 1,000 for the 72-hour recomp challenge. Let's go. So I'm obviously gonna do 4 sets of 100. Last push. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 90. Let's go. Okay, so I'm doing my faster cardio now. It's a super late one. Check the nice mountain in the back there. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna push through. I worked through majority of my breaks. I took like maybe a 10-minute break in between, but I was just like so locked in and I wanted to get all of that stuff done that everything kind of got pushed back. And, you know, that's normal. But one of the biggest reasons why I do this faster cardio every single day
and I show up is because I know when I do these little acts, when I follow my carb cycling meal plan, when I do my fast, when I do my fast cardio, everything is taking me a step closer to priming my physique for a ridiculous growth phase. For a growth phase where I'm going to be picking up quality mass and no fat. And the reason why most of you guys struggle to pick up this muscle tissue and you just find yourself picking up that fat, like every time you just see that stomach just won't go away when you're trying to pick up mass, is because you're not insulin sensitive, right? You haven't primed your physique to work for you. It is literally working against you. So that's the reason. That is like why you continue to feel stuck. That's why every time you lift up your shirt, you fucking hate what you see and you're not confident in your own skin. All you need to do is prime your insulin sensitivity. That is the key. Once you do this, you're going to step into full confidence in your physique, right? You're going to feel comfortable being naked in public or in your mirror, right? That is the key. And so many of you guys are so close in doing that. You've been putting in the work. You've already been training, right? You've been eating somewhat clean. That is the next step. That is the factor that's going to determine whether you get the physique that you desire. That's it. All you need to do is probably insulin sensitivity, guys.
For today's breakfast, I'm changing things up a little bit. I was just a little bit sick and tired of having the same beef and eggs. So now, still having the same stuff within my meal plan, but I've just done a little switch around. So I'm having the steak, which I usually have at night, right? And then I've got some fried eggs, because I felt like some fried eggs, which I'm going to put on top of this beautiful, beautiful omelet, which I'm going to make. Put some sriracha, put some, what do you call that shit? Some peri-peri, so some chili sauce on there. Ooh, it's going to be bang on. And tomorrow, best believe, your boy's having some carbs. When this is over, I'm definitely going to implement some carbs into my program again, into my meal plan. But yeah, going to get this down. And you know, it's time for the 100 push-ups. Then continue on the graft.
So it's time for the next 200 push-ups. Damn, I've got to do 400. Listen, it's hot as balls out here. I'm going to tell you that straight up. I don't really feel like doing the push-ups now. I'm hot, I'm tired, but you know what? I'm going to fucking do it anyway. Because that is something that I said I was going to do, and I'm a man of my word, and I'm going to stick to that shit. Let's go for it. Oh, woo.
200 push-ups down for the day, and let me tell you, it is cooking out here. It's pretty much peak summer right now, and I really didn't feel like doing those push-ups, but I did them anyway because I know that's what is needed for me to get to where I want to get to. But you know what really drove me to be even more like, okay, let's get this done, is making that action satisfying, right? It's a reward. I gave myself a reward, and this is the reward I gave myself. I was like, you know, it's hot. I've got to do these push-ups. I need to do them anyway. Boom. But what is going to make this so much better? What is going to make this shit so much better after I complete that? I know exactly what. Make a nice frozen ice almond whey protein. Damn, so worth it. Now I'm sitting outside here, or I'm taking a little bit of a break with this brilliant breeze coming through, sipping on my, basically this thing tastes like, you know, a milkshake. Sipping on my milkshake, right? So that is the reward I gave myself. And that doesn't mean that you need to go and reward yourself with a chocolate or sugar or a sweet, because then you're actually just contradicting yourself, right? Then you're basically telling yourself that your goals are not that important to you. Because if you're like, you know, I'm going to go do 30 minutes on the treadmill, but I deserve a chocolate after that. No, you don't. You don't deserve a chocolate after that. Because that means that your goals are really not that important to you. What you're telling yourself by just doing that 30 minutes on the treadmill is, you know, I'm doing it. It's good that you're showing up, but you aren't really that focused, because, you know, it's honestly like the bare minimum. I'm going to be straight up. It's the bare minimum to go do 30 minutes of cardio on the treadmill, right? The best results that you are going to find, or that you're going to get, is once you become insulin sensitive. And how are you going to do this? You're going to do this through nutrition being the main factor, and then weight training comes after nutrition. And nutrition breaks down in a couple of things. Like, if your goal is to just drop fat, just follow a caloric deficit. But majority of you guys watch me who like follow along. Your goal is not to just drop fat. Your goal is to drop fat and build muscle tissue. Your goal is to drop fat and stop getting skinny fat on the other side of that. And how that's going to be done is, I'm going to give you three tips how you can do that. Carb cycling. Second one is having a personalized macro split, right? Where you manipulate things in a specific way. Third is where the weight training comes into place, right? Don't focus too much on cardio. Cardio is something that I do in the morning because it's a routine that I've built, right? It gets me set up. And yes, I'm fasted in that state, so it's going to be a lot more beneficial than just going to sit and do 30 minutes on the treadmill. But those are going to be your most important things. Like, the biggest thing that you want to focus on is dialing in that nutrition. Once you dial in that nutrition, that is when shit goes to a whole another level. And when you're insulin sensitive and you dial in your nutrition, then all of that food literally just starts working for you. You're going to gain so much muscle tissue. You're going to finally feel that damn confidence. Like, if you want to take your shirt off at the beach, that won't be a problem because you won't have that insecurity around that anymore. But yeah, that's basically that. I'm going to enjoy this, and then I'm going to get back to work. I made a killer little investment today, which I'll share with you guys later. Investment in my self-development and investment in my knowledge, and I'll show you guys in a bit.
Busy doing some client check-ins. Gents are making progress. It's 20 pounds down. Absolutely loving it. This is one of my favorite times of the week. Love to see my clients progress. Love to see them come with new flipping stats, new progress, new PRs every week. Gives me like very good feeling, you know. I kind of feel like Frankenstein. No, I'm not Frankenstein, but like I'm part of this whole process, which I am. But you know, it's a big feeling of like nice accomplishment, pride in my clients. Absolutely loving it. But I'm gonna get these done. Still gonna do 200 push-ups for today. Gotta get another meal in. I'm pretty knackered, pretty tired, I'm not gonna lie. It's been quite hot today, but gonna get these done. Gonna get a bit more work done. I ended up just doing a lot of work earlier on, so I think I can go to bed a little bit earlier today because I got majority of that work done. But I still got to do a bunch of packing, get everything sorted so that tomorrow I can just get out of here. I am going to probably get up early tomorrow, even though the challenge is going to be finished by 3:45 a.m. tomorrow. I'm probably still going to get up, and this is going to be part of tomorrow's part 3, day 3 of kind of just, you know, how I'm going to talk about, let you guys know what the experience was like these past 3 days. And I'll definitely do this again for sure. But yeah.
So I had my second protein shake, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have dinner. Now, I didn't have lunch just because everything got extended because of that extra work that I did this morning. So what I'll do is I'll actually just have my lunch meal with my dinner meal, right? Because I'm not going to skip meals because I still need to get the protein in. I still need to get the fiber in. Now, one thing I must mention is I'm going to take out some of the veggies in here because they don't smell 100%. I don't think they have a very long lifespan, these specific veggies. So I'm just going to take those veggies out. There's already veggies, some spinach in here. And to make sure that I do get enough fiber, I'm just going to have a scoop of greens powder, right? That's exactly why I have it. For the days where I don't have veggies, for the days that I don't feel like veggies, I'm still getting in those extra fiber. So I'm gonna cook that meal now. Then I'm gonna show you guys exactly what investment I made today and how I'm gonna implement that as we start. I'm very excited for it. It's gonna be part of the self-development. It's actually the book that I'm reading. Okay, let me just tell you guys now. So it's actually the book that I'm reading is Think and Grow Rich. Now they've made a movie out of it. And I'm still gonna read the book because the book, I like to take notes, I like to analyze, and I actually like to implement the things. I like to implement the things, but I learn very well with visual stimulus, right? So if there's something visually like videos, movies, then I absorb that information a lot better. That's the exact reason why I have to read an audiobook, right? Because I've got someone reading it out loud. So I've got that stimulus, I've got visual stimulus, and I'm also reading it. So that helps me absorb things a lot better. And in order for you to like stick to a habit, stick to something a lot easier, you need to make it easy, right? You need to make it easy. That is going to make sure that you actually stay more disciplined and that you show up and that you follow through a lot more. That is one of the big laws of behavior change, is making it easy, making it satisfying. And that to me is satisfying. It's a cool movie I'm going to watch. I'm going to absorb the information a lot better. And yeah, just made that investment today. Super stoked with it, super happy. Can't wait to give that a watch.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 200 push-ups still. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm drained. I don't feel like it. I don't want to bitch, I don't want to complain, but fucking my head is throbbing. Now I feel like I gotta muss up this courage, right? It sounds something so simple, man. It's just 200 push-ups, but fuck me dead, I don't feel like it right now. But it's fine, you know, I just tell myself it's gonna be just a short moment of discomfort, right? And I know if I don't do this, I'm just gonna be bullshitting myself at the end of the day. And I know it's a very like simple concept. I mean, it's only push-ups, like just leave it, you've already done 200. No. I said that I'm gonna do 400, and I want to stick to my word to myself. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 sets of 50. Take a little breaks in between. Still haven't had dinner yet, so I haven't cooked. So what I'm going to do is, I've had my second protein shake already. I'm going to do my third protein shake with some greens powder with my final meal, because I completely skipped my lunch meal. Because I had worked so much extra this morning, the time kind of just got away from me. I had breakfast much later and I just like, you know, I wasn't hungry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get those two meals, put them together. Because, you know, sometimes you don't have full control of your schedule. Sometimes you don't have full control of the time. Sometimes things get in the way and you don't have control over it, right? Or you just catch yourself not being 100% on point, which is normal, right? We're not robots, we are humans. But even if that's the case, I'm still going to make sure that I stick to the shit that I need to get done, right? If you're super busy, wake up earlier if you feel like you don't have enough time. If you feel like you don't have enough time, set up structures. The structures that I've set up for this 72-hour recomp challenge have definitely helped me, right? Because before doing this challenge, I felt like with all of the things, the work that I've packed on, it has been very difficult to get to everything. It felt like there just isn't enough time in the day. I'm just too busy, and I was tired of just like using that excuse. So this was what it's all for. Waking up super early, getting that work done, which I got so much done, which I'm very happy with. And then made an investment today as well, which I'll talk to you guys about. So the investment I made was part of my self-development journey. So as you guys know, I'm reading the book Think and Grow Rich, and they've just come out with a movie on that, and that is just perfect for me. So I went and I bought the movie of it, and there's some extra master classes which I'm going to wake up tomorrow. There's one at 7 a.m, so I'm going to do that, because that's another passion of mine, right? Is business, and I want to grow that, and I want to explore, like I'm doing another business now, which again, I'm not going to say because it's all under construction in the shadows for now. But just anything and everything that is going to take me to the next level, right? That is going to help me level up. Now, with those specific aspects, I'm going to do everything I can to help me push to that next level, right? And one of the best things that you can do is invest in yourself. Because I'm investing in myself, I'm paying the money for it, I'm going to stick to it. Otherwise, that's literally money down the toilet. That's going to help me stay consistent. And I'm going to watch that movie tonight, so I'm doing even an additional extra amount of work. And the reason why I like the movie so much is because I'm a very visual learner, right? I learn through diagrams, mind maps. If I just read, I don't absorb that information. That's why you guys watch me. I do my my audiobooks in the morning, right? So I've been doing the audiobook thing of Grow Rich, and then I take notes because, again, I act upon intention. I actually want to take in the information and let it be beneficial. Otherwise, it's like going to the gym and just going through the motion, not really caring, not focusing, or it's like just going to the gym and actually not dialing in everything that needs to be dialed in, like the most important thing, like nutrition. I mean, I have guys come to me all the time, they say they can't lose weight, they can't build muscle, and it's like the only thing that they've ever focused on is the training aspect. The training aspect is just like, it's a small part of it. Like everything is going to come through nutrition. That is where the true magic happens. Macro manipulation, carb cycling, priming insulin sensitivity. This is where the magic happens. The exercise is just stimulating that muscle, right, for growth so that the muscle fibers can tear. And then how is it going to grow? Through repair by the correct nutrition with the correct macros. So that's basically that investment that I made. I'm super excited. I mean, what's the time now? It's like, it's already 8:13, so I'm gonna get these push-ups done. I'm gonna fucking push through. Even if that's, I do 50, then another 50, then 30, then 20. Let's stop bitching about it and let's just get it done. Let's go. Oh, it's 50. It's 50 done for now. So I don't know where my head is, so just gonna catch a quick little breather, let everything settle. Whew. Mind you, this is all no carbs in the system, no fuel from that. Just got those good old fats. I'm not like necessarily, no, I'm more mentally drained. I think it's because of staring at the screen for so long. You know, physically, like, I feel strong. Mentally, not so much. I think that's probably where the headache's coming from, staring at the damn screen for so long. Okay. I must say, I've definitely leaned out in these past 72 hours. Well, it's not 72 hours yet, but I've definitely leaned out a decent amount from when I came. So that's good. Next 50. 1, 2. Oh, okay. Only 100 left. Now I know I'm only supposed to be doing 300 every day, so technically it should be finished. But I thought to myself, why not just round it off, right? Why not do 1,000 push-ups within these 72 hours? Yeah, make it a nice, good, clean number. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna hit the 100. Let's go. Okay, catch a breather. Probably open a cold shower again. Get to that food. Woo! There we go, I feel better. Got it done.
Finished my final meal. Busy watching the movie. Exciting stuff. But that's me. 72-hour recomp is basically complete. Gonna wake up tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm going to wake up tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not going to set my alarm. I actually want to see what time my body clock wakes up. I want to see if I've been set in that way. But yeah, it's been a solid 72 hours. But peace, guys. Chat to you in the morning. Okay, so that is the 72-hour full recomp, fully complete. I was up around 4 o'clock a.m. I didn't set any of my alarms. So my body clock has definitely adapted to it, which is pretty damn good. I'm pretty much awake right now, but I am most definitely gonna lie in after these past couple 72 hours. Now, when I do get up, I'm gonna probably do a bit more work, stop packing, getting everything ready, and then heading to my grandmother, because that's also one of the big reasons why I decided to do the 72 hour come this side in George, because she's here and I haven't seen her in years. So I thought, you know what, it's a brilliant opportunity to do both. But it's been a good journey. But I'll chat to you guys about it later. Let's go.
So I'm about to hit some morning self-development. So with the movie that I got purchased yesterday, invested in yesterday, the Think and Grow Rich, it came with a little bonus feature of a masterclass, which is basically about ending procrastination, destroying self-doubt, and just all of those good things for self-development. So it starts in literally 1 minute, 59 seconds. So I'm going to give that a watch and see what I learn. So I just finished my morning self-development session, and basically what I did was I watched the webinar, right? It was a webinar just more so on how to break self-doubt, how to just absolutely conquer whatever space you're in, whatever goals that you have. And it was a very interesting webinar. It was about how one of the greatest ways to success and self-confidence in what you're doing is to ensure that your goals, the goals that you set, are aligned with your meta values, right? So your meta values are subconsciously what you continue to think about, what your true priorities are in life. So a lot of the time with men, it's business, right? It's financial freedom, it's providing, it is all of those things. Like, think about it in this aspect. This is a good analogy that I got from this webinar. When you have a husband and a wife, right? A husband and a wife walking through the shopping center. Then you'll see that the husband will maybe look at potential business things, right? Maybe there's a webinar. Oh, that will be first thing to mind. Oh, maybe I need, it's business. There's business books for sale. That's what I need. Maybe it's, look at that cool desk. That's going to look good in the office. Whereas, usually the wife will go and be like, okay, oh, there's something nice. Oh, that's something for the kids, something like that. And that's just how those core meta values just work, right? And what tends to happen is your goals usually sit at the bottom. So if your goals are, for example, getting in shape, right? You want to lose weight, you want to build muscle. That's really a goal that you've had in mind. But because your values are such a top priority, all of your resources being money, resources being energy, resources being time, is spent on those things. So you need to, and then when those goals, they just kind of sit there at the bottom. They aren't a main priority for you, because those goals, you have associated them like, okay, you know what, I really want to do this, but subconsciously it's not a main priority for you because of all of the other things. Now, in order to make those goals a reality, because those goals are truly important to you, like you need those goals, losing that weight, for your self-confidence, for all of those things, you need to ensure that your goals align with your values. And one of the best ways that you can do this, which I learned from this webinar, is that you need to ask yourself this question. How is achieving that goal that you set, let's say it's getting in shape, let's say it's being healthy, how are those goals going to benefit, how are those goals going to benefit your main meta values? Meta values being your business. Mine is business. Mine is relationships. Mine is, those are two of my main priorities, and being a provider. Well, I know for a fact that one of the biggest reasons why I stay fit, I stay healthy, I am in good shape, because all of these are going to affect how my business runs. All of these are going to affect the type of man that I'm going to become. I value myself, and one day when I have children, being a really good father, right? Being a leader, being someone to look up to. And I know that by me achieving my fitness goals, me sticking to a plan, me building the discipline around that, is not only going to boost my self-confidence, which is going to excel in my business, but it's going to, set the example for who I want to be. My kids,
you know, there's that saying, it's kids don't always listen to what you tell them. They act upon what they see. So if you're a good role model to your children, they will see that. If you're a healthy role model to your children, they will see that. If you are lazy, if you are overweight, usually what tends to happen is they tend to adopt those things. It's like you always see those movies with the bullies at school, right? A lot of the time, their parents, their dynamic at home is so messed up, so they act in a specific way. They don't have that like self-confidence. They've got that insecurity around that, so they do that exact same thing. And that's why you need to ensure that your fitness goals, your goals align with your values. That is when you don't rely on motivation. You wake up with drive. You have a vision. When those align, you have that vision, you have that drive no matter what. You don't rely on the motivation. It's instant. And, you know, it's a lot of the exact same thing with a lot of my clients. Every single one of them are high professionals. They're either businessmen, they're entrepreneurs, some are doctors in very high positions. And the biggest reason why they've actually started this is so that they can adopt these habits, they can adopt this mindset, they can adopt, you know, this self-confidence, which they can ultimately use in their business and further help them and just become that man that they want to become. Because that's at the end of the day, like every true man wants to really become the best version of themselves, right? They want to step up to their full potential and they want to live with their full capability. And I relate to that so much. And watching this has been brilliant. It's been a brilliant thing. But that's basically what that self-development was about. And I'm going to continue doing that because one of my biggest purposes in life is business. As I said in day 2, one of my biggest drivers is building something from nothing, right? Having that achievement to have taken nothing and turn it into something amazing, something great. And that's also why I think I love being a coach, right? I love that because I have been able to help so many men just transform into the absolute best versions of themselves. So many men who have been struggling for years to just try and figure out to stay consistent because they don't have the right systems in place, or they don't have that self-confidence or that mindset or that accountability to be able to help them transform their lives and literally become the best versions of themselves, mentally, physically, and through confidence. And that is what I love. It's taking something. Guys literally come to me and they tell me that they rate themselves a 3 to a 6 out of 10. Now, as a man, you should be rating yourself a 10 out of 10. And that is because they have now full confidence in what they're doing is finally paying off. Because I've literally, like Anthony, one of my clients, has struggled for 10 years to just gain a pound. And he's active, he works hard, he runs a business, but he just couldn't get past that plateau. And within 4 months, he gained 40 pounds of lean mass. He's still with me. It's over 2 years now. And continuously, it's moving more toward mindset and habits and all of those things. And it's going to continue to develop in that sense. And that's also one of the big reasons why I'm doing a lot of this self-development. Yes, it's for myself, but it's for my clients as well, right? It's how can I integrate this to make the program the best possible? Because I'm on a mission to make this program literally the best thing possible. If it takes me 5 years, I will put in 5 years. I will continue to develop this program to continue to develop, and it might develop into something more. And that's basically why I'm so into self-development, and I've actually really been loving it because self-development is honestly a key factor in success. If you don't have self-development, if you don't have that mindset, if you don't have those habits, if you don't have that self-confidence, and if you don't have that physique at the end of the day, it's going to be difficult to get there. Some people have done that, but for me, I thrive on structure. And you know, the 72-hour recomp has been brilliant. This is exactly what I needed. It's been tough, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not just like ridiculously disciplined, crazy fucking person. Yes, I can be when I need to be. And I will be because I know that's what it's going to take for me to get to where I want to get to. And, you know, setting up these structures, setting up these systems. If I don't have these schedules, if I don't have these structures, I wake up every day feeling so overwhelmed, like not knowing what to do, like what do I do next? I am like, the decision fatigue is mind numbing. It is crippling, right? But when I have a clear game plan, the confidence in knowing what I'm doing is actually going to pay off and going to work, I thrive, right? And that's one of the biggest reasons why I did it, because as you guys know, post-op, even leading up to the op for those 11 months, it's been tough because I was working towards something for such a long time, that bodybuilding pro card status, and, you know, just having that standstill. And I was going to make bodybuilding my career. And through a lot of this development, and I feel like everything happens for a reason, right? Because I was very shifted and focused on bodybuilding in itself, like hardcore. And, you know, your goals do change at the end of the day. And that's why I'm very grateful for with my back happening, even though it was hell, there's always a silver lining. And that's where that mental reframe comes in. Like, it doesn't matter if you're in a shit situation, you might not have control over it, but you've got full control of how you look at things, right? And if you let that fear, if you let that, you know, control you, if you fall into that spiral, then getting back out is just so much more difficult. So that's why that mental reframe, having that mindset in place, and having self-belief and practicing it every single day makes the world of a difference, right? That is gonna take you out of that. That's gonna make sure that that never happens, and ultimately take you to success. Now, am I going to wake up at 3:45 a.m. every single morning? No. I might wake up at 4 or 4:30 a.m. every single morning, because this 72-hour recomp has really taught me a lot about myself, right? It's kind of taught me what direction I want to go in moving forward, and I'm very solidified in that. I've done a lot of self-development on that, a lot of self-reflection, and that's why it's so important. If you're going to do the 72-hour recomp, which, by the way, I'm going to do put a whole thing together on YouTube to show you exactly how you can do this. If you feel like you need that self-reflection, you need that self-development, you do feel lost, you feel like you have no direction, you feel like you have no structure, and you just don't have enough time in the day, then this is going to be perfect. This has helped me so much. I'm walking out of this cabin, which has been my home for the past week, with a very positive mindset and very excited for 2026, because 2026 is going to be bang on. The comeback is coming. Am I going to take bodybuilding at a professional route? I don't know. I don't think so at this current time, but I am still going to work to achieving that goal that I set out so many years ago, because it's just, you know, it's also a passion of mine, and to be back in the gym is just going to be absolutely amazing, right? That is my therapy at the end of the day, and that's just another thing that I'm working toward. And I feel like a man without purpose, a man without vision, a man that's not working towards something is literally a menace to society and is a depressed man at the end of the day. Purpose drives a man 100%. Okay, and that's I'm very, very happy for the 72-hour recomp. Now, with that being said, I've also learned a lot about how I work, right? I work extremely well in the mornings. When it comes to the afternoons, I'm really tired. What I've also found is, because I'm so motivated and dedicated to achieving my goals, I'm very disciplined in that aspect, but it's taking up a lot of my life, right? It's taking up a lot of, you know, I haven't found that true balance yet. So by me now going back home, resetting up new structures where I'll probably wake up 4 a.m., then I'll work for maybe 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours in the morning, maybe 6 hours in the morning, because I will always work in the afternoon. I will always have client check-ins. I will always be filming, right? Which ultimately is work. And that's why I actually did a lot more than 12 hours per day on this trip, right? On this recomp, because filming, the editing, that is all part of what I do in my job, and it burns you out. And yeah, so very excited to move forward, to take things to the next level, and 2026 is going to be a hell of a year. But guys, hope you enjoyed the journey. I'll see you for the next one. Hopefully it's going to be a training one soon. Let's go.